Well, good afternoon and welcome. I see you're eating. That's okay. Anyway, thank you. Turn to the person next to you. Tell them Lompoc deserves the best every day. Like you mean it. Come on. Turn to the person next to you. Tell them Lompoc deserves the best every day. We'll work on that. Anyway, thank you. Welcome to this year's State of the City message. I appreciate all of you for coming, and I particularly appreciate that you have an interest in your community. That interest is one of the things that sets all of us apart, residents and business people alike here in Lompoc. It's that spirit that we're all in this together, regardless of the differences we may have on individual issues, that makes Lompoc a special place to live and to work. Before I get started, I have a number of thank yous to people that have not only made this event possible, but just do wonderful things in our community every day. I want to thank the Chamber of Commerce and the Board of Directors for sponsoring this luncheon. And thank you for the hard work of President and CEO Amber Wilson, to Chelsea Cochran, to Annette Hernandez, and retired CEO Ken Ostini. They've done a great job in organizing this event. Thank you, folks. My sincere thanks to our business community, not only for your support of the Chamber, but for your investments in this city that you do every day, here in our city and in providing the jobs you create. A particular thanks to those of you that are active with Explore Lompoc and do so much to promote Lompoc as a travel and tourism destination. My thanks and my applause to a great number of leaders and members of our faith-based community, along with service clubs and other nonprofits in the community who give of their time, their talents, and their resources right here in Lompoc. I have not seen a greater concentration in a community of this size of faith-based community working together with, as well as with the service clubs and those nonprofits, to invest that much in the local surroundings and to improve quality of life like I see right here in Lompoc. I appreciate it greatly. I also want to acknowledge our partner agencies who team up with us on a regular basis to improve services and quality of life in Lompoc and provide jobs in our community. Allen Hancock College, Lompoc Unified School District, the Lompoc Federal Correctional Complex, Vandenberg Air Force Base, the County of Santa Barbara, and particularly the Sheriff's Office, County Fire, and the District Attorney, and the Lompoc Valley Medical Center. And just to highlight one of those, I just want to talk a quick minute about the Medical Center. Not only do they provide high quality and sometimes life-saving medical care to our Lompoc citizens, they provide jobs and utilize the services of other local businesses, and that puts over $43 million a year into our local area economy. So it's those sorts of partnerships that just help us tremendously in building our community. I want to acknowledge and thank the work of my colleagues, Jasmine McGinty, Samantha Scroggin, and Assistant City Manager Teresa Gallivan, for countless hours that they spent assembling the images that you're going to see here today and doing the fact-checking on the presentation that I'm sharing with you. I can't begin to offer enough praise to my nearly 400 colleagues at the City of Lompoc who work hard to bring services to all of us here in the city 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Most of the work goes unnoticed and taken for granted, but the wide variety of those services just doesn't happen by accident. They are an outstanding group of professionals, and I am proud to call them my colleagues. I know I said this last year and I'm going to repeat it again. I owe a debt of gratitude to the members of the City Council that hired me a little over 3 years ago. Former Mayor John Lynn, Dwayne Holmdahl, Dirk Starbuck, Ashley Costa, and Bob Lingle. I'll never forget nor take for granted the opportunity you've offered me here in Lompoc. Thank you. I also want to thank and acknowledge the current City Council. They continue to work hard to make Lompoc an even better place to live, work, and play. They serve out of sacrifice and rarely receive appreciation they deserve, but I want to express my appreciation for all you do. To Mayor Bob Lingle, to Mayor Pro Tem Jim Mosby, to Dirk Starbuck, Victor Vega, and Janelle Osborne. Thank you. Finally, I want to acknowledge my two personal guests here today, my mother June and my wife Cindy. This past year, Cindy and I celebrated our 40th wedding anniversary. She is obviously one of the most patient people you will ever meet. Well, let's look at what we've done over the past year. Let me start with a quick financial overview of the city. I'm not going to drag you through a line-by-line examination of city finances. If you're really that interested, our budget's available on our website, and you can look at it line by line if that's what makes your merry-go-round. But I will summarize for you that the city takes in revenues from all sources of about $97.5 million per year. And it's broken down by revenue type on this pie chart. Might be hard to see, but just let me point out that 2/3 of our income comes from charges for services. So that's like mostly utilities and permits and the like. Only 18% comes from taxes, and the remaining 13% comes from grants and other sources. How we spend that money is the majority, 58% of the city funds are spent to operate the 4 utility enterprise operations: water, electric, solid waste, and wastewater. 15% pays for public safety, 6% goes to streets, 4% to parks and recreation, and the rest over an assortment of other services: transit, airport, economic development, planning, and support services. At the conclusion of my remarks today, a little later on, I'm going to share with you some good news about our general fund revenues, those things that pay for police, fire, and parks, and the current trends we are experiencing. But I'm also going to share that in light of other economic drivers, and you'll be able to see some of the ingrained economic challenges that we face here in a city like Lompoc. For right now, let me recap some of our city's accomplishments over the past year, though. In our finance department, our director Brad Wilkie and his management services team have committed to update and replace the city's primary financial management system, a 30 years in the making project that will move the city's reporting and services into the 21st century. Thank goodness we did that before the 22nd century got here. This 3.5-year project will enhance and replace numerous systems and have been running based on a system that has components from the early 1960s. I hardly remember computers from back then. In our utilities department, Director Larry Bean and his team have got our automated meter reading system to a fully operational status. The city is now billing from a fixed network collection of water meter and electric meter data and improving customer turn-on service. We also met our renewable energy goals as an electric provider. Electric Division met its renewable energy goals by sourcing more than 25% of our supply from our investments in geothermal and hydroelectric power plants. The City of Lompoc water customers reduced water consumption to meet state requirements. I'm pleased to report that our May through November water usage in 2016 was 23% less than the usage for the same time period in 2013. In May through November of last year, our city's residential water consumption averaged 63.6 gallons per capita per day. Now, I'll put that into context. That's a heck of a lot better than a lot of other cities are doing in communities in the county and all around the state. One of our nearby communities is still averaging over 400 gallons per capita per day. I'm not going to name names, but it rhymes with Grantosito. Sorry. In our solid waste service, we established a mattress recycling program that's begun at the landfill, and it's at no additional cost to customers. In our Public Works Department, Director Kevin McCune and his staff have automated fare boxes, having them installed in all of our transit fleet. They were awarded a Federal Aviation Administration grant of over $1 million for an airport apron rehabilitation project. The Dwayne Fuggs Memorial Barbecue and Picnic Area was completed at Thompson Park by the labors of a number of our city employees who volunteered their time and made other donations. We completed a sidewalk project in the neighborhood north of City Hall that's improved the walkability of those neighborhoods and of our city streets. We installed a comprehensive tree inventory program and work order system, and this enables us to better care for and to manage our urban forest. In 2016, Library Director Sarah Blyle and her staff enjoyed the inauguration year of the Charlotte's Web Mobile Children's Library. That is a great thing. The Bookmobile, the Children's Library, the Mobile Children's Library, I guess I shouldn't call it Bookmobile. I'm reverting back to my childhood. They did 139 stops. There were over 5,000 materials checked out, and they had over 7,700 visitors in the Mobile Children's Library. That's better than we do a lot of times at a standing brick and mortar library, so that's a fantastic thing. Appreciate all that Charlotte Benton did and the foundation to help make that a reality. Thank you so much. Our summer reading program was a huge success, or as my friend in Washington, D.C. would say, it was a huge success, none better, really. Thanks, I'll be here all week. Tip your servers, try the veal. We more than doubled participation. We more than doubled our participation from the previous year, and that's why I was saying it was huge. It's unbelievable that we've had that much of an increase, and it's a testament to the dedication and hard work of our library staff. They've added many new programs for people of all ages. For our adults, they've got movies, crafts, the book club, and the coloring club. That's right, a coloring club for adults. You should try it, it's therapeutic. I had one of our police captains showed great interest in it. It wasn't Captain Clement, I won't say who. But anyway, very therapeutic. For those of you interested, go check it out. For our teens, we have video game days. Teen Library Council was created. For the kids, a May the 4th Star Wars party, a Harry Potter Day, Lego Club, bilingual story times. And these are all programs that are aimed at promoting our focus on creating a lifetime of learning for our community. Let me talk about our police department for a bit. When I hired Chief Walsh in 2014, we agreed that one of the new priorities of the police department had to be community-oriented policing. I am thrilled to report that the chief and his team have done an exemplary job in making that connection into our community. In addition, we've modernized a lot of things. All patrol vehicles are now equipped with mobile data computers and dash cameras. You would take this for granted, but I remember getting here finding out we have one operating computer and no dash cams, and thank you, Chief, for making sure that we led the way to getting that fixed. This technology is helping us modernize our police department, and it's assisting officers to remain safe and to perform first-class services. Our police department volunteer corps have faithfully served the community this year with a combined total of over 2,200 volunteer hours. One volunteer, Fred Holmes, logged a grand total of 23,000 volunteer hours over a 17-year period of his dedicated volunteerism to Lompoc. That is a special person right there. The department restarted the Community Academy this year with 19 graduates in December. This engagement creates the opportunity to educate community members about their police as well as creating friendships and building trust in the community. One of our goals of the Lompoc Police Department was to participate in more community events, and they have done a great job of that. The amount of events that the police department participated in rose from 30 events to 130 events. These events have strengthened the bond between the community and the police and made Lompoc safer, and I'd suggest to you, when we can get out, particularly with younger people, and interact with them in a positive environment, we're less likely to see them later on. So this community orientation is critical. Appreciate all of your efforts in leading that. The fire department accomplishments in 2016 include that Chief Kurt Ladipow and his team have taken the city building department and transitioned it into the fire department, resulting in the creation of a building and life safety services section that can better coordinate and unify those services. The department secured grant funding to provide flood awareness training to our emergency response team members, and I can tell you right now that's already paying off dividends, as we're speaking today. We trained and certified 2/3 of the department, including 12 firefighters, to the EMT optional scope level, and this certification allows firefighters to administer more intensive emergency medical care to patients by administering medications for heart attack, diabetes, overdose, and breathing difficulties, which translates to more immediate medical care and to lives saved. In the Economic Development Department, our Director Teresa Gallivan and her group launched new marketing materials and updated website pages for the economic development functions. This includes excellent quality photography and contemporary graphic design, along with up-to-date information that ensures Lompoc puts its best foot forward when meeting business owners and developers for recruitment, expansion, and retention. In community development, we launched the Home Buyer Assistant Program, and we were able to help 3 families get into new homes before Christmas, and now as we speak, we've got a 4th family that now is enjoying a new home through this process. Our tenant-based rental assistance program aided 164 households with deposit and utility assistance. Of those 164 households, 76 had reported themselves as formerly homeless, and 12 reported as being veterans. In our planning division, the sign ordinance was approved that updated our abilities of our businesses to be able to get their message out. We updated the old 1974 zoning ordinance, and the new ordinance is easier to use and understand with better illustrations and diagrams for ease of use. The sign ordinance makes sure our city businesses can advertise while maintaining the aesthetic appeal that we want in our city. In the recreation division, we had a Thompson Park renovation project with the assistance of volunteers from numerous community organizations and more than $200,000 in park improvement development impact fees. Staff and volunteers have been able to renovate the ball fields at Thompson Park, the ball field at Thompson Park, laying down gopher wire and installing new irrigation and sod to improve the field of play. You can see quite a bit of difference there. We had a great number of community partners contribute time, contribute money, and contribute great efforts to this project, including Granite Construction, Lompoc Girls Softball Association, the Adult Softball League, V&J Trucking, Red Barn Landscape, Lompoc Fence, Wilco Distributors, AceCo, Sunbelt, Foursquare Church, Victory Outreach, as well as many others who donated food to the workers. Thank you all for loving our community in this way. A group of community volunteers headed up by the Daughters of the American Revolution renovated the Vietnam Veterans Memorial that had fallen into disrepair. The memorial is once again in like-new condition and is a fitting remembrance to those who have served and made an ultimate sacrifice in the Vietnam War. I want to thank all of you that also served in our military. Thank you for your service. And please, if you get a chance, get out and look at the renewed memorial. It's at the end of River Park, and it's a fantastic site. Some of the private sector projects completed in 2016 include Native Tongue Boutique and Lounge, Pay It Forward Thrifts and Gifts, the Aloha Barbecue, Albertsons reopened, Star Threading, Pilates Pacifica, Love is in the Hair, Blue Sky Property Management, Desi's Boutique, Marsha's, Harbor Freight Tools, and Chipotle, and the Habit Burger Grill. We also worked with Lompoc Parks Recreation and Pool Foundation to complete the Motorsports Park EIR, Environmental Impact Report, before the funding deadline, thereby protecting the city's financial interests. That project is currently on hold. In terms of community relations and public information, we hired our public information officer, Samantha Scroggin, who is helping improve our efficiency in keeping the public informed and is increasing our governmental transparency and our ability to seek and receive community input. She is overseeing our upcoming website design to better meet the community's needs, and has recently launched our official City of Lompoc social media channels on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So like us. We have officially launched, so please follow us on any one of those social or all of the social media platforms. Another fun way to maintain transparency and connect with our Lompoc citizens is through our new public access TV show, Tune In Lompoc. This show airs every other month and highlights different community and city events and programs. But with all of that, that's a good kind of recap of what went on the last year, at least the highlights of it. But now we'd like to start looking forward to what we have coming in the next year. So let's spend a little time doing that. We are moving forward in 2017 with our new city logo, which was adopted just last week thanks to the actions of City Council. The modern logo will be appearing on our website, social media, and marketing materials. We hope you enjoy it as much as we do. There's a lot of, as you can see, there's a lot of implied meaning within a very basic concept. We'd be happy to share that story with you. In economic development, we plan to promote the Lompoc business community by creating and distributing more industry videos like the one highlighting our local manufacturing industry. If you don't mind, let's take a couple minutes and look at that video now.
I think it's a great town for doing business in. There's a lot of potential for growth, especially manufacturing.
Great place. It's a great community. It has a lot of resources. It has a wonderful city operations that help manufacturers here in the Lompoc Valley.
I believe we're fortunate to be here in Lompoc as we've been able to hire quality people that really care about what they do.
The great thing about being in Lompoc is, number one, it's beautiful here. We're in the middle of these beautiful hills. We've got wonderful weather. Normally a mining operation would be in a much more remote location, and so we're very blessed to be in this beautiful area of California.
Well, you can see we've got a lot going on, and that's just one sector of our business community. So we're looking forward to doing a number of additional videos like that to promote the business opportunities that are here. We want to promote Lompoc through different platforms for continued business recruitment, retention, and expansion, as well as for helping with our tourism. In our community development division, we completed phase 1 of the Parks Restroom Feasibility Study. We will be completing that and beginning phase 2, which is including the placement of actual restrooms and renovations. You can see the condition of one of our current restrooms that was shown was at Ryan Park, and it'll be replaced by some new ones that look like the one that's out at Briar Creek Park. We are giving our aquatic center a complete makeover right now, including replastering pools, refurbishing our popular aqua play and slide tower, and performing maintenance work on the center's retractable roof. The entire facility is also getting a thorough scrub down. We look forward to reopening this new and improved aquatic center for our community by the end of March. The Thompson Park renovation project phase 2 will begin with grant funding from Community Development and Parks, and we will complete further renovations beyond just the ball field that you've already seen. We plan to continue also with our homebuyer assistance program, and we're truly looking forward to being able to place families into their own homes. In our planning division, our 2017 goal is to complete the processing of the balance of the comprehensive zoning update. That's first on the list. Some of the projects that are coming on from the private sector, the Hilton Garden Inn. We want to acknowledge Atul Patel for his leadership, and thanks to the family for bringing this project forward to reality. The hotel is expected to open in 2017 still, yes? Yep, good deal. And we'll bring 156 guest rooms to visitors and residents of Lompoc. So thank you very much for your investment here. The Solvang Brewing Company. I can't begin to tell you. We'd like to thank Steve Renfro for his important investment into Lompoc and the Old Town area. Not only is the Solvang Brewing Company a great renovation of an iconic building, but it will be Lompoc's first active brew pub and will bring life to our old town. They are currently open. They're doing it as we speak and eat here. They are doing a soft opening at their location today, and starting tomorrow will be open to the public. So please go help them be a wild success, will you? Thanks. We have a lot of other commercial activity in development. There's an additional Starbucks located going to be locating where the Halama Beach Cafe had been. Now I'm going to need your help in increasing all of our caffeine intake. I believe there's enough business to support another Starbucks without diminishing the success of Southside Coffee, so please support both. There's a place called the Laundry Room located in the old Jetty building off Ocean Avenue in Old Town as a laundromat. Conserve Fuel is remodeling their Ocean Avenue location and doing an expansion as well. Blaze Pizza is looking to locate near where the Panda Express, Chipotle, and Habit are now. The addition of a Pizza Hut and Wing Street located on Central Avenue near Walmart, and a new wine production and storage facility near Raytheon. Those are just some of the things that are currently in development. Speaking of wine, I'm an advocate of having dining and wine tasting together in close proximity to each other. To me, it's a natural marriage. Now, there are still some disagreements on how to accomplish this, and we're working through the logistics on how this might become a reality. But we hope to get there by finding solutions that are going to be beneficial to all parties. Looking forward to our library in 2017, we're applying for grants to create technology programming for all ages and hopefully make some updates to the children's room in the near future. We also plan to create the library's first strategic plan so we can step forward on a business-like and intentional process. And ultimately, our goal is to improve literacy rates throughout our community and to encourage that interest in a lifetime of learning. Our police department looking forward in 2017, we plan to continue to engage the community, especially the Spanish-speaking community, offering programs such as Community Academy in both Spanish and English. We want to hire up to the full strength that we're entitled to so that we can accomplish our goals and help keep the community and our officers safe. And we want to continue to leverage technology and modernize the police force, including using assets forfeiture money to buy a mobile response unit. In our fire department looking forward, we plan to conduct 2 Emergency Operations Center disaster plan activation exercises to ensure emergency preparedness in compliance with both the state and federal requirements. It's important that you understand that we do intentionally train for both natural disasters and for man-made emergencies so that we can respond promptly and effectively to protect your families in the event of such a cause. We will complete the final phase of upgrading the fire station alerting system, and we'll continue to work toward improving our fire stations that can support our operations, store our equipment, and do all that commensurate with service demands and risk protection. In our utilities looking forward, both the water and wastewater plants are poised to serve growth and economic development needs by taking advantage of their additional capacity. These plants contribute to the public safety by ensuring quality in our vital water supplies. These plants position us in a unique and competitive advantage for prospective commercial, industrial, and residential development to locate here in Lompoc. Also with our utilities, a number of developments are planned at the city landfill. Installation and completion of the landfill gas collection and system project has been awarded, and we'll also be hydroseeding the landfill slopes and the adjacent areas of the landfill, in addition to designing a new stormwater collection and retention system there at the landfill. Our current energy efficiency rebate programs will be modified, and new energy efficiency rebate programs will likely be created as a result of our new targets. City staff will be participating in the Groundwater Sustainability Agency, which is going to help Lompoc work with the county and neighboring communities to better unify and manage our groundwater supply together. In public works looking forward in 2017, we have a new city transit yard which will be located at the corner of D Street and Chestnut Avenue. This will improve our abilities to service our transit and city fleet and create breathing room at our existing overcrowded maintenance yard. This will help us have safer and improved city operations. We'll maintain a safe and serviceable street infrastructure despite declining revenues and increasing deferred maintenance. We're going to improve sport field playing surface conditions by using a new park top dresser that you can see pictured here. We're also going to be improving our pothole patch program, and we'll continue to replace high maintenance trees with trees that are more friendly to the surroundings, to the sidewalks, to concrete, and to that doesn't drop all the stuff that we don't want dropped down for us to step on. So we're just going to continue to improve the maintenance of those trees. Significant, I want to talk just before I wrap up here about a couple of significant issues and unmet needs. Our current street maintenance backlog of work, in other words, if we were where we should be, we're about $37 million behind on what we should have invested to date in our streets versus where we are. So we have about $37 million of deferred maintenance. That's growing by about $6 million a year. Right now, 41% of the Lompoc circulation network is currently rated as failing or at risk to fail. Unless a new revenue stream is identified, staff projects that the 41% will rise to 72% that's at risk or actually failing within 10 years. Last year at this presentation, I talked about modifications to our gas tax program, and I continue to work to lobby in Sacramento to try to bring about change to something that's going to be more comprehensive. Because I don't know if you've had the opportunity to drive in some other states that have poorer economies than California, but man, the streets are in good condition. So it sort of makes you scratch your head and say, what's going on there? So we need to improve that, and we need to take leadership in that. I'm also going to share with you now the news about our three main income streams that I explained before. These are the things that pay for police, fire, and parks through our general fund income streams. And our three main tax areas that do that are sales tax, property tax, and transient occupancy tax, hotel tax. I'm going to call that TOT. So the city's most recent reported 4 quarters of sales tax revenue is over $4.3 million. The city's sales tax revenues are 36% greater than when we hit our economic low in 2009. So right now, as we speak, our sales tax revenue is now at an all-time high. Our total assessed value of taxable property in the city of Lompoc increased from $2.56 billion a couple of years ago to $2.67 billion last year, an increase of 4.5%. This drove an increase in our property tax revenues from $3.17 million to $3.3 million. So our property tax revenue is now at an all-time high. The city anticipates over $1.9 million this fiscal year in TOT, in hotel tax, from overnight stays in the current fiscal year. Through 5 months of collection, we're actually exceeding that projected target by 3%. The projected revenues are 6.4% greater than last year. So our TOT also is now at an all-time high. Now this is all great news when you have those three things that pay for police, fire, and parks at an all-time high. But the thrill wears off when you put it in context. Don't get me wrong, I'm very proud of the growth in our fiscal health. And we are at an all-time high in these three areas, but it's not enough. This graph, this is a graph that compares per capita sales tax revenue amongst the cities in the Tri-County Central Coast area. Our neighbors in Buellton enjoy a per capita sales tax that is 4 times what we receive here in Lompoc. Lompoc citizens have the same size of demand for police, fire, and parks, and yet we have to fund that with 1/4 of the per capita income from sales tax. Also looking at one of the other forms of tax, if we look at TOT, our neighbors in Solvang receive about 20 times as much per capita TOT as we do in Lompoc. Pismo Beach, by the way, they receive about 38 times as much per capita TOT as Lompoc. And yet we have the same demand for services that are provided of the police, fire, and parks. If we were to take this graph and isolate the 8 cities in Santa Barbara County on this per capita sales tax comparison, we would see that 6 of the cities that are located on or close to the 101 corridor are doing much better than the other 2, Lompoc and Guadalupe, that are not on the 101 corridor. So even when we have home run years like this past year, we have a long way to go. It shows that when decisions are made, like the placement of alignment of a freeway, the financial impacts can last decades. You are all doing great things for this community. Please continue your efforts and be patient with us as we continue to overcome the financial challenges that abound. We have a lot of work ahead of us, and it's not going to be easy, but it is going to be good. God bless you. May He protect you and your families, and may God continue to bless this great treasure known as Lompoc Valley. Thank you.